I think she regrets telling us because she told the wrong people, like, because we're not ding dongs. We're not going to perpetuate this cycle of BS anymore.
Welcome back to Access Hollywood's Housewives Nightcap. I know we say this every single week that we're so excited for our next guest, but we really are excited about this one because we've actually had her on before.
Gina was one of our very first guests over a year ago, so we are so excited to welcome her back. Gina K from Real Housewives of the OC.
Hi.
Wait, I think Gina was our first guest a year ago, right?
No, she was our second. We had Jen Shaw first.
Okay.
Which has not aged well, and now we have Gina.
That's up. Yeah. I'm always the underdog. It's like, yeah, it's all right.
Gina, we saw the first episode. It comes off hot. Everything's happening.
Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to say anything, but if the situation arises or anything's being discussed, like, I have no problem just like telling Heather what's going on.
First of all, I loved your reaction to Heather's house. Like,
Yes, this house is legit.
I'm going to be honest. I made myself laugh at myself. Like, it was like, what? Say? Like, there were just so many things. I don't know what I say. You know, I just go. And then you watch it back and think about that, right? It's like you're real. And then they put all your natural reactions and they capture them together. And then they put it the way they put it. And I'm like, I'm out of my mind. Like,
you were so cute. You were like, it was so normal. Like, I would be the same. I would be like,
her house is
wow.
It's insane.
Beautiful. Everything is beautiful.
So how did you and Heather, it seems like you guys are going to be friends this season, which we love. I'm so excited to see. How did things like between the two of you start? Because we have the whole, in this next episode, it's kind of not good.
I'm done.
I want to talk to Heather.
Your trash is her. This is a disaster. No, there's no filming. It's over. No. I'm kicking everyone out of my house.
It doesn't start well. It was so disappointing to me too, because I really liked Heather so much, which is why I wanted to just be like, I wanted her to just, I don't do that. Let's talk behind your back and keep secrets thing. And I felt like it was a very important thing that happened potentially, and she should know. And I didn't want to look silly. And it was, you know, so I have my own reasons. It's like, it was very personal for me. And I was in my own head about it. And I felt like she needed to know. And I tried to get Shannon to do it, and she didn't want to have any part of it. And I was just finally like, well, this, just because you made me do this pact before I even knew what the thing was or who it was about or know the person, doesn't mean that I'm not going to do the right thing when it's time to do the right thing. And if you're not going to do the right thing, I'm going to do the right thing. And perhaps I poor timing about the right thing. And I may have just like, I was just like, oh my God, I'm never getting invited to Heather Dubrow's house again. And it's so nice here, and she's hot towels. And that's like, that's so sad for me, but I'm still going to do it because it's the right thing to do.
Well, I think it was important to share. I mean, obviously, look, it's not a court of law. You're allowed to say, you did not swear on the Bible here.
No, I did not. And I was also very, very intoxicated when Shannon said, don't say anything. I'm like, all right. And I didn't know, at that point when she told us about this thing about her friend, she was telling us a secret about a friend Nicole, that she wasn't even 100% sure if it was actually this woman.
Right.
And then she said it was a secret about this woman that she didn't even know if it was her. And she never said it was something about Heather before. And then she told us, and it was about Heather. And I didn't even know Heather. And then the next day I actually met her that night. And she was so nice. She was lovely. And she came up to me. And this is before the day before I filmed with her. She came right up to me and she was like, you're from New York. And we bonded and we talked about like bagels or something, like that New Yorkers do.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love her. And she was really cool. Like, honestly, the first time I met her, she was so different than what anybody would expect. She was very cool. She's very fancy, but like in a way
call her
that's
fancy
humble.
pants for a reason.
Right, but she wears them well.
Now, Shannon has now said that she regrets telling you and Emily all about this. But do you think Shannon had some ulterior motives when she told you?
Well, she definitely did, yes.
Was very eager to share her juicy gossip about this girl, Nicole.
I think she regrets telling us because she told the wrong people, like, because we're not ding dongs, you know? There's no ding dongs left. That's Shannon's problem, is there's no ding dongs left, you know? And I think that was her go-to in the past, was tell the ding dongs that will then do whatever they do with this information or use it for bad, and we just weren't going to play that game. So, and I think that actually, but it actually is I think it was a good thing, because it kind of like forced Shannon to meet the wall of truth and reality, and also like just show her like, no, that's not what this is anymore. This is a different year. These are different friendships. These are better friendships. And I actually think it was healthy for Shannon to have this experience. She would probably disagree, but I think that because it forced her to see, and it also like helped her to understand we're not going to perpetuate this cycle of BS anymore. You know, this is different. And things changed because of it. So I feel very badly if, you know, this stuff came out, but it's not even that big of a deal. I feel like the actual crux and the root of it isn't even that serious, because nothing even ever happened with that. And
okay.
Everybody, you know,
but,
like everybody. Well,
but Nicole kind of left the show, right? I mean, I know you can't tell us what you can tell us.
Well, she was supposed to be a housewife, but it doesn't sound like she got that orange at the end of the day.
I can tell you, she invited me over her house to go swim in her backyard, and she wore stilettos and changed her bikini twice. And I was like, this is my favorite thing ever. Like, this is like, and then she wasn't there anymore. And I was like, but I have to talk about this in all of my interviews. And I don't think that they're going to ever show it. And I'm like, that was my favorite thing that ever happened. Like, we were getting ready to swim in her backyard. And she was like, I'm just going to go change into my second bikini.
So that's actually then a big disappointment if she did leave the show, because we do love a housewife that loves the glamour and loves to switch up a bikini.
Yeah, it was so a very like Vegas pool party, like awkward way, but like phenomenal. I thought it was great. I was all in. I was like, this shit is unreal. Like,
oh my gosh,
so funny. Okay, what about the other housewives that did stick around? What did you feel about them? Noella, because the first episode, she's open, she's honest. She talked about the sex dungeon.
She's got a sex dungeon. I mean, it's all the rage. It's like whatever you're into. Do you? I'm like, you just practice safe sex.
I feel like you sway on the more conservative side of that kind of conversation. Like, so for you, was it a little bit weird with the cameras rolling and she's sharing like all this kind of personal stuff?
That's actually interesting perspective. You're right in the way where I do lean on the conservative side with when it is regarding myself.
Yes.
But actually, when it's somebody else and they want to talk about their stuff, I'm all in. I'm like, I'll tell me everything. I'll talk about it for days. I have so many jokes. I will make very inappropriate jokes. Like, I am on board, and tell me all of it. And I'm intrigued by it, and I want to hear about it. And I didn't even know people really did shit like this, and I love it. Like,
oh my God, I'm the same. I want to hear everything.
Yeah. Like, I need to know.
Okay.
So funny.
How would you describe this season for us? Now that you are no longer a newbie, you've been on the show a couple of times. What was unique about this season?
Oh, well, I think it was unique because, first of all, they fired half the cast. And so, and it was me and Emily, like, what? And I was so happy when they said that Heather was coming back, because it was like too much pressure. And I was like, oh, okay, you relieved the pressure. So that was great. But I think it was real. I think you get for the first time in maybe a long time, I don't know, to see people develop. I think at the very beginning of this whole housewife phenomenon, right? Because it really, like, look what it's blown up with. I think at the beginning of it, though, it was rooted in real friendships and real drama and real things. And I think along the way, it kind of moved away from that. And I think this year, for me, it's my 4th year doing it. For me, it felt the most real. It felt the most, at least like it was an attempt to make real connections with real people. And I do feel like being, even me and Shannon, we struggle so much, but we've known each other now for over 4 years. And there really is a real friendship there. There's a real bond there, I would say. And navigating through that with her this year made me, even though she pisses me off so much, made me feel the most secure in our actual friendship that I've ever felt. And I think that's really nice. And I think and also, like, honestly, for me too, you guys get to see like the Emily that I know, that I love. Like, I love watching her eating turkey sandwiches in sauna, and it's amazing. And you get to see, like, she's so cool. She's so funny. And I feel like nobody sees that. Everybody's like, she's boring. And I'm like, she's the least boring person on the show. Like, you have no idea. And I like seeing her come out of her shell, but she's only coming out of her shell because she feels safe in the environment that we're in. And I think that's what makes this season really special and different.
Fun Emily. I can't wait to see Fun Emily because she's great. She is great. And it does seem, we have to let you go, but real fast, it does seem that you are happier than ever with where your life is. Do you think there's wedding bells in the future with you and Travis? Because you guys are so cute.
I mean, you never know. I am very happy. What I can say is, like, it feels really good to know that I am, like, genuinely loved.